How do you even begin to quantify love? Hi, I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, core faculty for the College of Health Sciences and Public Policy at Walden University. And in this segment, I'm going to be going over what two psychologists came up with in terms of a love equation. So let's go ahead and get started. So love has been a topic of many poetry, many songs, and so this is an area that many philosophers have taken more time to understand. But the fundamental question is, what is it exactly? And then, of course, the following question is, can we quantify it? So what's the description? Where did this all originate? Well, hasn't been around for too long. Actually, around the 1990s, two psychologists and their colleagues, Arthur Aron and Elaine Aron, hypothesized and demonstrated that there actually may be an equation that explains love. And some of the components of this is to see if two strangers can develop an intimate connection just from asking questions to each other. And this can be a series of questions increasingly personal. So I'm not going to go through all 36 questions, but for your benefit, I want to make sure I select out about 5 questions in each so that kind of have an idea of what these questions are. So, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Would you like to be famous? In what way? Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? What would constitute a perfect day for you? When did you last sing to yourself, to someone else? I'm going to go through 5 more questions in the next segment. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? What do you value most in a friendship? What is your most treasured memory? And then we go into the final 5 that I'll be going over here. Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone with whom I could share. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. So these are about 15 questions that are in this questionnaire. Like I said, there's 36 questions total. And this gives a good sense of what types of increasingly personal questions are asked. Now in this segment, I'm going to be going over the equation that is derived from these questions. And there's some interesting variables that comprise this equation. So the first equation here is something that is a shortened form of the second equation. So I won't spend too much time talking about this. The only thing that is interesting and important to note is that S1 and S2 represents each partner's importance of sex. So the second equation here is going into some of the details, and we'll go over that in some more depth. So again, I'm going to read out this equation. It's quite long. L equals 8 plus 0.5y minus 0.2p plus 0.9 h sub m, which is the importance the male partner attaches to honesty. So let me read this equation again. L equals 8 plus 0.5y minus 0.2p plus 0.9 h sub m plus 0.3 m sub f plus j minus 0.3 g minus 0.5 open parentheses s sub m minus s sub f times 2 close parentheses plus I plus 1 point c. So I recommend you go into the internet and take a look at this. I'm going to try to define the variables. However, these are quite complicated, as you know, relationships are and love is. So I'm going to go through these variables one by one. So L is what you're trying to calculate. So that's the predicted length in years of the relationship, and that can be predicted through the following factors. Y represents the number of years the two people knew each other before the relationship became serious. P represents the number of previous partners of both people added together. H sub m, as I said earlier, the importance the male partner attaches to honesty in the relationship. And then M sub f is the importance the female attaches to money in the relationship. And then J represents the importance both attached to humor added together. And then the rest of the variables are comprised of G, which is the importance both attached to good looks added together. S sub m and S sub f, the importance male and female attached to sex. I equals the importance attached to having good in-laws added together. And then C represents the importance attached to children in the relationship added together. And all of these importance measures can be scaled from 1 to 5, where 1 is not important and 5 is very important. And then ending with same-sex couples, you modify the equation slightly so that there's slight changes within the formula. So this pertains to all of the components of a love equation. While this is a good equation in theory, there's a lot more factors and components when it comes to length of relationship, love, and what it comprises. I hope this has given you some insight into this matter. Thank you for listening.